Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another video, an emergency video from Fantasy Football Scout. We're going to keep this short and sweet, but we've got some major double game week breaking news to react to that has thrown everybody's chip strategy right up in the air. So I'm joined by Scott. We're gonna talk through the news, the fixture news. Then we're going to chat about what this means for our chips and talk through some different scenarios as well. Keep it to about 10 minutes. So Scott, you've recovered from the chaos yet?
Well, just about, yeah. I actually think I said, didn't I, at the start of that Spaces video, because me and Tom, for people that don't know, have just filmed a Spaces talk about this for an hour. And I said at the end of that, I'll have a sort of strategy, and I think I do now, which obviously we're going to get into here. But I
Yeah,
am much more clear on it because I was absolutely all over the place at the start of that.
yeah, fair. I think everyone is. So, for those who haven't seen, and it's on screen, the news is that we are guaranteed at least one double game week in Game Week 25. So that's next week, not this week. If Liverpool get to the EFL Cup final, it will be Liverpool and Villa who double in 25. If Spurs beat Liverpool or they hold on to their 1-0, then Spurs and Fulham will double in 25. So it'll be one of those two, and then there is a potential that Arsenal and Chelsea will double in 25 if Arsenal overturn their 2-0 deficit at St James's Park against Newcastle. So according to the bookies and with what the odds suggest, just Liverpool will double in 25. That's what the bookies think. So that would mean Liverpool have got back-to-back doubles, which means that there is now a chance to get 5 games from your assistant manager. So all those Salah triple captain plans potentially now moving to slot for 5 matches, or you could go Moyes and then you could look to move that to potentially Postecoglou or Silva or Emery or slot next week. So Scott, what are you thinking now, scenario wise? Because you've got a triple Liverpool.
Yeah, I think at the moment I'm on triple Liverpool. I'm in actually a really sort of comfortable position in this in terms of I've actually played my triple captaincy, but I think I'd be doing this strategy regardless if I had or I hadn't, so I'm quite sort of happy with it. But basically, for me, the best method that I look at right now for me is to buy Moyes this week, and then hope that either Liverpool obviously beat Spurs, in which case I'll probably buy Emery and gamble on table bonus in that because obviously that's a big factor in terms of the manager that you're going to pick getting that table bonus. I think that could be massive. Or the other method, obviously, all the other ways that obviously Spurs then beat Liverpool in the FPL final. They go to the FPL final, cup final, and then of course I'll just play either Marco Silva or Postecoglou for their double as well. Because
Yeah,
obviously, I think what we haven't mentioned probably is that yeah, obviously Villa double as well, so you could go with Emery either way.
yeah.
But uh, but
So
yeah,
you're
my
set on an assistant manager, and
yeah, I
making
am
use of the
because
5 games.
yeah, because I think obviously with the fact that you can't, if you've already got triple Liverpool, you can't then get slot as well, so you can't have 4 Liverpool assets as such. Because of that, I think that means it's so obvious for me what I'm going to do.
Yeah. So I've got triple Liverpool, and I was going to triple captain Salah. There are options. I could sell Van Dijk and get a slot. You could. What do you think about people who are on triple Liverpool? Do you think there's an argument to sell one and go to
No, I don't
slot?
think so. Because I think the only question potentially would be if you've got there will be people who have got triple Everton and triple Liverpool. I think that will be there will be people who've got that 100%. I think if you've got that potentially you could swap a Liverpool player to get slot and then go somewhere else with Liverpool with a transfer movie. Like I know we talked about Mbeumo being quite a good asset if you wanted to go there. But I don't know if you'd have the Liverpool players to do that. But regardless, there's single game week players that are still effective this week. So you could do that, and then obviously buy a slot and then just hold him. But again, we talked originally when this got released, and I was obsessed with the table bonus then, and I still am to be honest. I just like the idea of a pun. I don't know where you lie on that.
Yeah. So I am. Yeah. So I've got 2 options. I can do the assistant manager on Moyes now, um, and then look to move to Silva, Postecoglou because they will have guaranteed table bonus in 25, or Emery if Liverpool beat Spurs. So, and then that means you have to wait on the triple captain. The other option is you triple this week, and then you just start the assistant manager next week, which,
That does seem like a waste because the problem is with the triple this week. I don't know where you lie on this again. I always thought that was a decent strategy because I don't think triple captains is that powerful of a chip. I think the other chips are potentially much more powerful than that, especially assistant manager chip. But my logic is when I look at that regardless as a triple captaincy option this week, it's not great fixtures, is it, on an attacking standpoint for Liverpool? Like in terms of the like, is Bournemouth away that great of a fixture for Liverpool? I don't think so. And again, Everton, regardless of where they are in the league and how good we think now, especially on an attacking standpoint, which they're obviously not that great on, defensively they've always been solid. So again, do you really want to back Salah against that Everton defense? Well, it doesn't look that doesn't look that appealing anyway. It's not like it's a if this was an unbelievable double for Liverpool, then I think the triple captaincy might make more sense. But I think the fact that obviously where the fixtures are where they are, and they don't look that good for Salah anyway. They're not awful, but they don't look brilliant for Salah. I think it just makes the system managership so obvious, and especially then if you've got sort of, as I said, if you've got the funds to get like a David Moyes, I think the punt of him with that Leicester home fixture and obviously Liverpool home fixture just looks so appealing, especially because you save an extra million in your team as well. And everyone's still struggling with trying to. I think everyone's struggling with the sort of the team limit budget that you've got at the moment as well. I don't know. I just think Moyes looks such an obvious choice this week. I really do.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And I think I'm coming around to that. Save the triple
Got you
captain.
convinced.
Yeah, save the triple captain and go, because it's another thing on triple captain. We've still got Salah's still got Southampton at home. Palmer's got Southampton at home. Palmer's got Leicester at home.
It's that Isak one, isn't there? There's Isak in, is it 33
Yeah,
when he'll
Isak. Yeah, the other
potentially
thing
do?
to mention with this news is that if Newcastle get to the cup final, their game, according to the Premier League, will be rescheduled at a later date. So we think that's possibly 33. So there will be an Isak double to use the triple on, but it won't be 25. So yeah, saving the triple does seem like a good shout, and maximizing the assistant manager, because this is going to be as good as it gets. You're going to get 5 games. But the caveat to that is, yeah, you do get 5 games, but then you're taking hits for your team if you don't have free transfers.
Yeah, you are. I think after this week, I'll be back onto 2 transfers next week because I've still got one saved in the bank at the moment. So it's not horrific for me. But I think a lot of people, I think I'm quite fortunate in that sense. I think a lot of people were built not to triple caps this week, and now to get to assistant manager, I think probably like yourself, you're gonna have to start taking hits and stuff. And I think that is going to be an issue for a lot of people. But I think you've just got to accept how powerful this managership is and the sort of potential. Like, I mean, Everton on their own. If Everton beat in the second game, if Everton somehow beat Liverpool, which can happen. I mean, they beat them last season. I think Liverpool are better this season, but I think potentially Everton are too. If Everton win that game, he could get nearly 20 points, David Moyes. Like that is absolutely ridiculous. So
Yeah,
taking a -4 to get yourself 20 points, the upside's just there, isn't it? So.
yeah,
I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not. This is not me saying that Everton are going to beat Liverpool, but I think, as I said, you've already got that Leicester game as well. I mean, if he wins both, he's going to be getting 30 points this week. That is like absolutely outrageous.
yeah. And then yeah, you can move it on
Yeah,
for
exactly.
25. Potentially, you have Emery playing against Liverpool. Um,
Well, Emery's got a similar set of fixtures in terms of he's got a really almost a banker in the first game. I don't think the Everton one is a banker against Leicester, but I think the Villa one probably against Ipswich probably is, which is that. And then obviously he's got Liverpool as well, so it's a similar sort of double to the Moyes one, really. Where you've got one that's sort of a banker fixture where you pretty much guarantee points almost in a lot of people's minds, and the second game where it's almost a punt to get maximum points as well. And he's also as well. I think people are understating the sort of yes, slots all right. I get that, and obviously he's probably more nailed for wins. But again, it takes such a big it takes so much money out of your team as well. Like,
yeah,
how are you going to get this extra 1.5 million or 1 million in case of if you go and slot above Mars?
yeah, this is true. So yeah, so finally, just to wrap up, just to go over it again, Liverpool will double in 25 if they get to the FA Cup final along with Aston Villa. If Spurs get to the EFL Cup final, Fulham and Spurs will double in 25. And if Arsenal get to the EFL Cup final, Chelsea and Arsenal will double. Um, so I guess then you could potentially, you're probably not going to assistant manager Arteta or Maresca, but there are options with extra games if Arsenal get there. But so just to finish, is there any circumstances for anyone out there that you wouldn't look to play the assistant manager? What if you've got nothing in the bank and like, for example, to get Moyes you need 0.5 million, right? So if you've got nothing in the bank, what is that worth a hit, do you think?
I think if you completely planned right now to not play the manager and play triple captaincy, and you've got like say 3 Liverpool, 3 Everton potentially, something like that, or even if you haven't and you've got 3 and you really want to play slot, which is fine if you wanted to do that. At that point, I think you might be better. if it's gonna really damage, if you're gonna take like a -8 or something that's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
I've always been opposed to hits, and throughout the season I haven't taken one hit yet all season because I just think it's such a risk unless it's a double, really. That I do think, yeah, I think that would be a situation. I think if you're taking a -8 to get it, then I think you probably better triple captaincy and sticking with your method.
cool.
You're not really getting the bonus then, are you, at the assistant manager? Because you could use that later down the line and not have to take a -8, and then you instantly get 8 points in your bank. So yeah, I think that's the only way, really.
Yeah, all makes sense. Cool. So that's the breaking news. There'll be plenty more reaction on the website from Neil and team, and we will have a full in-depth podcast. We've just recorded the Spaces with FPL Harry, Scott, Chris, and Lewis, so that will be going out as a podcast this evening for a more in-depth look at the chip and talking through different scenarios. But this is the breaking news. Double game week in 25 is guaranteed, definitely for 2 teams, potentially for 4 teams. So yeah, team news will be at 3 o'clock. That will be slightly calmer vibe, just the usual, than this chaos. But yeah,
Well, there's loads in the time because we hadn't even talked about a lot sort of like who we're going to bring in as transfers for the pretending potential doubles. Like you might look at different transfers as well. So I mean, yeah, there's
yeah,
loads, but this is just a chip one in it. So
yeah. There's all sorts to consider. So stay tuned to the website. Do like and subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned to the channel for plenty more double game week 24 and 25 content. Cheers, Scott.
see you later, everybody.